Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanner Dunn, and I'm going to talk to you about another topic regarding rock and roll music. And this time, I want to address a big controversy. There are multiple genres of music, and they all spread good and bad. So why is rock music considered the devil's music? I have listened to this genre since I was 6 years old, and I have attended many concerts, and I've met many of the artists. I can tell you they are not Satanists by any means. I want you to all listen as I reference song titles and lyrics from rock bands of the 70s. I want you to tell me whether or not that sounds satanic. A lot of the song lyrics are about having a good time and enjoying life. There's a song called Peace of Mind by Boston, which is a song just about having a peace of mind that everything is going to be okay in the end. There's no reason to really stress out about much. There is another great song called Nothing But a Good Time by Poison, and the sorry, I get nervous. The song title itself is the chorus, and it says nothing but a good time. How can I resist? We all crave a good time in life, and life is to be enjoyed, not endured. Then there's another song called The Bitter End by Alter Bridge. That song is about enjoying the moment, not focusing on the past or the future, but enjoying right now. And the chorus goes, but the joy I have found and the sweet here and now is what keeps me alive. We all know that this life is going to come to an end, but there's no point in worrying about that because we don't know when that day is going to come. There's also a sense of love within some rock songs. There are multiple songs about heartache, moving on, and finding love again. There is a song called Love Song, that's literally the title, but it's by Tesla. That song is about overcoming a heartache and that you think you're not going to find love again, but the chorus says, love will find a way. And it's true. It always does. There's also a song called Is This Love by Whitesnake. That song is literally just questioning feelings that when you're developing romantic feelings for an individual. And then there's also a song called You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi. That song is almost like an attack against a heartache. And hence the first line of the song, shot through the heart and you're to blame, you give love a bad name. And then there are also songs about love and the love of nature and the love of life in general. There's a song called Call of the Wild by Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And that is personally one of my all-time favorite songs. Call of the Wild is about disconnecting from all this modern technology that has just consumed a lot of our lives and to really just enjoy the life around us. Don't focus on anything else, but go out to the Grand Tetons, go out to Yellowstone, go out to somewhere in nature and just enjoy the beauty of the nature that God has created for us. And that's what that song always reminds me to do, which is ironic because every time I listen to that song, it's on an iPod or my vinyl record player, but it always reminds me to take some time in the day and just power down and breathe, as the song says. There's also, speaking of nature, there's also a great song by Ted Nugent called Spirit of the Wild. That song is literally just about the freedom that comes from spending time in God's nature. It's a song about just going on nature trips and just enjoying the wildlife around you and just feeling like you belong there. I don't know about you, but every time I go in nature, I always feel like I belong there. Don't you? Then there's one of my all-time favorite songs called Getting Better. It's another song by Tesla. And that song is literally just about how if you had a bad day, it's going to get better. There are always better days ahead. The bad days never last. And literally the chorus says, it's only getting better. And it always does. There's always a happy ending. And there are other multiple incidents that show that rock has been heavily accused of satanic lyrics. Back in the late 80s, there was an organization that Al Gore's wife, Tipper Gore, formed called the PMRC. And that basically they tracked down these bands because rock was the big genre at the time. And they basically brought them in for hearings in Washington, D.C. The funny thing about this is that they misinterpreted a lot of the lyrics. For example, there was the front man for the band called Twisted Sister. That's the band that sings We're Not Gonna Take It, or I Wanna Rock, the two big hits that they have. And they got brought in for the song We're Not Going to Take It because they felt it sparked rebellion. And they also brought him in for for a lesser known song by them called Under the Blade, which is about having surgery. And Dee Snider wrote that song on behalf of his bandmate, or the guitarist Eddie Ojeda, who was going in for surgery and he was nervous about it. So he wrote the song when he was in surgery. Well, the thing is that they assumed it was about just attacking people with a knife. And it got to the point where there's a misinterpretation of lyrics, and Dee Snider was just laying out the facts, and Al Gore just got really flustered and said, well, my wife thinks that song is dirty, in which Dee Snider replies, well, your wife has a dirty mind. Case closed right there. Al Gore flipped, they had to hold him back. There's a video of this on YouTube. You can check it out. PMRC hearing Dee Snider. There is also another incident regarding the PMRC where they brought a member of the band called Motley Crue in there. I believe it was Nikki Sixx, the bass player. And they were sitting there, and turns out they were accusing him of a song by Poison. So Al Gore was reading the lyrics by Poison's song that they had a member of Motley Crue in there. So Nikki Sixx just starts laughing, and they asked him what they were laughing about, and he says, thanks for the credit for such beautiful poetry and amazing lyrics, but that isn't even my song. So as you can see, our beloved government officials had no idea what they were really talking about. The accusations just went nowhere, nothing was really done, but thanks to those accusations, they ironically allowed these accused lyrics to keep getting worse, because that is why we now see parental advisory notices on CDs. You can thank Tipper Gore for that. And like I said at the start, every genre has its flaws and has its inappropriate lyrics. There is no such genre as the devil's music. As you can see by the lyrics I pointed out, it has absolutely nothing to do with Satanism. I would like to encourage all of you to not think this way about any genre. All genres produce good. You just have to find it in a world full of evil. I would encourage all of you to look for the good in the genre that you listen to and keep dwelling on the good. Don't focus on the bad lyrics, because music is a very powerful tool and it'll continue to bring you down to it will continue to lead you down a path of good or influence you to go down a path of evil. And that is why rock music is not the devil's music by any means.